Welcome to Shooting the Shit with Rhonda and T. Today we're reviewing Love and Marriage Detroit, Season 1, Episode 7. But before we start, D, tell them what to do.
Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel.
Yes, so Colby and Christina are still arguing. Christina is doing her best version of gaslighting. She's sitting there, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. Colby is like extremely escalated, still trying to prove her point until at some point, I guess a light goes off in her head and she's like, what she said was her relationship with Christina is more valuable than this fight, I suppose.
I don't like Christina after this
I
episode.
really don't like her. Like, I feel like I'm wondering, is Brandon the one over there being abused at this point?
Yeah. Now I'm like, I kind of see what you're talking about, Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both pretty terrible. And so, Colby got in this place of we're both influencers. There's room for both of us. And so I'm going to go ahead and apologize for my part. And Christina then accepted her apology as she so much well deserved.
Sure.
And then went straight flip to I love her from the bottom of my heart. And she's like my little sister. And
I can't tell, but okay.
So they hug it out.
Little sister.
She loved her from the bottom of my heart. Did you not hear that part?
Way low.
And then real low down there, like where the Grinch hearts beat so slowly and softly. Anyway, they hug it out. Someone like the man meeting. I was like, so y'all just fight and then hug it out and everything's good. And then invites her to shut up and pray brunch.
I don't want to go to that.
Listen.
You telling me to shut up. In other words, that's
shut up and pray.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me. She started it in 2017. She started the Shut Up and Pray brand in 2017. But then she had put things on hold. She didn't put everything. Her whole life been on hold for the last 5 years, 6 years.
She sounds like Chateau Shirai. She by Shirai.
Well, we didn't know her, but we just now finding out. Listen, since we just getting to know you, then stop telling us how you did that shit a long time ago, because we didn't know you then. She started it then, although she's just now starting it again. Anthony. So Anthony has himself set up. He's directing a photo shoot. He does so many things, child. Now he's over here. He's always positioning himself as this big boss. And there's nothing more creepy than a nigga standing at a photo shoot talking about, yeah, that's it. Turn around. Can she move on that side? Can she move on that side? Get the lighting over here. Move her hair out of the way. He's just, an all around, I don't know what fool. That's what I like to call him. And then his wife, she co-signs the shit. So I'm starting to see LaToya. I just don't like anyone. Every week
LaToya is delusional. For her to be a doctor, golly. But I
don't like everyone less. Shout out to William Palmer Home, new designer. I did go check out their shit. I'm always like, yes. At least while you're here, you can give these, up and comings a platform to see their stuff. So that's what the photo shoot was for. William Palmer Home, designer down over in the D. Him and Toya sit down. He paused. Everybody, take a pause. We're gonna take 5. Take a break.
They're like, you're not even doing this, my nigga.
You're not even doing it. Shut up. Shut up and pray, Anthony. Jesus. Anyway, him and LaToya sit down and she tells her about Bible study. Apparently, it was off the chain, girl. It was so good. Bible study was so good. He did such a great job. I did not see anybody. Did they not show that part?
I didn't even see them study. We missed all of that.
They brought their Bibles and then they start fighting. They talked about the showcase.
For him, that probably was good because he messy. He probably like, oh, girl, you should have been there, girl.
That's how it was. Yeah. And then he leads into, the one thing at Bible study that irritated him was how Brandon is a bold-faced lie and lied about the publicist saying that, that he said he didn't like her, and Brandon just told a bold-faced lie and said he did not say that, or at least he doesn't remember saying that. And then how can I allow my people to be working with someone that would talk about them in such a negative way? So of course I have to say something to her.
You was being messy. But
Well, LaToya agrees. She agrees that this is our publicist, and she would not appreciate having her name thrown all in the mud like the way Brandon is over there doing.
you part of the problem, Toya, but okay.
She is. I feel like I'm confused by LaToya to some extent. I don't know whose beard at this point. Like I said, is y'all all faking the funk, because it just doesn't make sense. She said that he said Bible study was so good, and she was like, "Did you cry?" And he was like, "That shit turns you on, doesn't it, when I cry?" And she's like, "I like to see you vulnerable."
No. Okay. Maybe that's why y'all together and I'm not in that. So
He should call her Zaddy. That's what he should do.
right.
He said, "Look, it's a code in Detroit, and apparently Brandon doesn't know the code. And what's her name is from Buffalo. Christina's from Buffalo. They don't know the code. The code of Detroit is." Are you writing this down, or you think you can remember?
I think I got it.
The code of Detroit is, if you don't F with somebody, you ain't messing with them like that, and then y'all need to be on opposite sides of the room. You do not try to do work with someone that you do not deal with. That's the code of Detroit. You got it?
Okay. So
I did not know.
But
I'm not from Detroit, so I mean, is that a Flint code? Do Flint got a code?
Nah. If it is, ain't no future in your front, and it's the Flint code.
That's the Flint code. That one I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, in Detroit, stand on the opposite sides of the room, and everything will be fine. Always remember to bring your Bible and hug it out, whether you're right or you're wrong.
Okay.
Or just shut up and pray. You can do that too. Aside from all that, once everything gets all, under control, as it seems to be to some extent, we should just go on a couples trip because she really wants to go to Traverse City. Ain't that down the road?
Traverse City, up north.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going up north.
So they do get a couples trip. Anyway.
They're going down up the road.
You invited them to Flint. They didn't want to go there. They went to Traverse.
I don't know why they didn't want to come here. Because they be fronting. They don't want to abide by the
They don't want to follow the rules. Got it. So this was probably the weirdest couples date night this was even worse than what's the name? Is Zaddy over there on Bell Collective. Brandon and Christina go on a date night at this cute little restaurant. Christina,
girl,
I'm gonna say this. You gonna get your fashion designer license revoked if you let your husband leave the house one more time dressing himself, because his clothes don't fit. He be dressed like he's got a bunch of little silky shirts, short sleeve shirts. If you gonna let him get back out in these streets, don't let him, because he's gonna be beat up.
That's how they do down there.
They just let you walk around look a fool.
Silky smooth, I guess.
And a ponytail on the top, child. Christina says that she has never felt safe in their marriage, and apparently it's his mother's fault for letting him do and say whatever the hell he wants to say.
I could see that. He was the bad little mixed kid running around.
He was a biracial kid who,
and the mom didn't know how to handle the little black kids, so he was able to say, "Shut up, mom." Yeah, because he acted like he don't have no respect for his mama.
He copped to it. I just feel like y'all are what, 11 years in at this point? This seems like a strange conversation to be having this far into your marriage.
Yeah, we didn't have, well, shit, she ain't get to know the nigga, so I guess she just now getting to know him.
11 years later, what have they been doing? I keep saying that. I keep saying 6 months, like, and you married this dude, but it's like 11 years later. Like, y'all should know each other by now.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly Christina don't like her mama, so she took an opportunity to slam her mother. His father just passed away. I don't know how present he was, but he didn't have a great relationship with his father. And yeah, so she doesn't feel safe. What, he was taking his mother's side, or Christina, we need more. You ain't giving us enough details about this how you didn't feel safe thing. Like, is it that yeah, he runs to his mother every time you piss him off, and his mother like doesn't have your back? I mean, don't know why she doesn't feel safe, because Brandon is a big squishy punk.
Mm-hmm.
He's not scary. So, I'm not understanding, but it just felt like a weird fake conversation of them pretending to work on their marriage. And at some point in the middle of the moment, he decided to grab her hand, stand up, and scream out to the restaurant that his wife was the most beautiful woman on the planet.
That was so embarrassing. He just happened to be in one of them things where it was a bunch of white people around that fed into it. Because if he had been amongst us, they would have looked at him like,
"What you do, bruh?"
Right.
That's it. You ain't bring no flowers or nothing. That's lame.
That was embarrassing. I'd have been like, if you don't sit your ass down. That was
She said she considers herself the boss. How?
The boss of him?
How? He don't be home.
Because she's a fusser. Or he fronting for the cameras. And maybe that's why she's so comfortable checking his ass, because she always do.
Well, we know he lets her fight other people on his behalf.
Mm-hmm. But he don't defend her on her behalf.
But she sure jumps in there to defend him. Now we back over down the street. I think we still on 8 Mile. We ain't at the Hit Factory. We not at the Star Factory. We at somebody else's factory. Some nigga named Lyrique. And Lyrique seems to have a very big crush on Christina. It seems like. I'm just saying. Now, Messy Anthony decided of all the people in Detroit that he wants to go do business with and bring on this whole showcase that we're working on. I'm gonna bring the one person that has a crush on Brandon's wife.
And the enemy of Brandon. You so messy. Oh my God, Brandon.
We do the same work. Lyric is a producer and a songwriter. I don't know what he's worked on. I did hear him throw out Jermaine Dupri's name, and he threw out T.I.'s name. But I mean, hell, I could do the same thing, and then we both name dropping, right? I feel like Jermaine and T.I. probably know me just as well as they know this nigga. I'm just saying. I don't know.
I know them Negroes.
Right. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm gonna need more.
I mean, it's Detroit and Flint, so it's Detroit and Atlanta, so it's possible. They're interchangeable.
It's possible.
Yeah.
But I mean, that means nothing to me. We need more people, Lyrique. We do know that somehow or another, you got a song queued up in your machine over there.
Already.
Christina singing.
Then you said the girl could sing. The girl sound like Melanie Hope. She could not
sing.
She
sound like, when I heard her, all I could think of is girlfriend. What's her name? Pebbles.
I heard Melanie Hope. I heard that ill pitch. And
she has an ill pitch. I was like, she sound like, do you want to ride in my Mercedes, boy?
She said that girl could really sing. I was like, nah.
Well, this man thinks so, but he gets all butterflies and
he said that she was a star, and that's why he ain't succeeding, because that's his star right there, and he ain't even producing her.
Well, Anthony wasn't gonna cop to that, but he said she's better than any of the other girls he got going on.
That's a damn shame. She is. So then I
That
don't know
much
what
he
you
did
over there
say.
doing. Mm-mm.
But I was like, oh, she's a singer, she's a designer, she's a songwriter, she's a, I don't know, brunch thrower. Speaking of the brunch, after Anthony invited this nigga to come over there and judge at the showcase. We know that's gonna be a problem. It was the whole conversation was real shady. I'm like, you Anthony, do you hate Brandon?
Yeah. It
He
seems
was
like
your boy a few minutes ago, but
the
now you're
first
like
episode, that was your homeboy from back in the day, and you loved him and all of
20
that. You was
years.
defending him, and it went real quick.
But you know what I think is funny, and I didn't write it down, but at some point, Latoya said, Brandon, you and Brandon have been friends for years, and me and Christina are getting to know each other. And I'm like, so how does this friendship even work? They've known each other for years, but the wives don't, you know what I'm saying, know each other like that. So that means that it ain't really a thing like that.
Right. Right.
Because like all my friends that are married, I know their husbands.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not enough to be calling them up though, Christina. I'm just saying I know who they are. I know them. We know each other. Anyway, he's messy as hell. So Latoya was invited to the Shut Up and Pray brunch. So her and Colby decided that they're gonna ride over together. Cause they coming for this girl.
Mm-hmm.
So Colby is telling, Latoya all the tea. She lets her know how this girl done called her husband and wasn't even talking to her. Now that's messy. I think we
That's
pretty much
messy as hell.
all feel the same way about Latoya over there calling Russell, especially when that lady looked her in the face and told her that his name never came up, but you want to make it a thing anyway. We all saw her say that, and she, but here you go calling this lady's husband. And then she told Latoya, and she said Anthony was the one that was the root of the whole problem because he was the one starting this whole rumor in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Now Latoya's pissed because Anthony doesn't start problems. Now, what you're not gonna do is be bad mouthing my husband out in the streets because that's not even his character. He just doesn't even roll like
that. Definition of his character. Now you just being delusional. That absolutely sounds like your husband.
She right here with it, child. What did the lady say?
I can't. Now that's when I was done with Latoya. That's when I was done with her. Your husband has been turning every damn party we didn't went to, except for that last one, out.
Out. Him
by himself.
What was the last one? The one where he wasn't at the birthday
party? Just cause it was the skate party. And he wasn't part of that, but he
only because he didn't know the details, because he would have jumped up in that one too. He didn't know whose side to take in that one. But he clearly chose a side. He's Team Colby. He doesn't even know, like, he would have had to choke out Brandon.
Because he's scared. He know he could choke out Brandon. He don't want
he don't want. Russell came with arms, the arms that everybody wants to touch.
Yeah.
Maybe let me don't. I'll stop there. So they get to this place. I will say this. Colby's party was definitely much more appealing to look at than the brunch. Like down, where was that at? One of the rooms, extra rooms at the church house?
She was at.
It looked hot. Latoya was fanning the whole time.
It probably was the back of somebody's church. You know how they have the little rooms where you had your banquets. Or a hotel room or something. You know, that's where she looked like. Maybe at a hotel when she rented a little room.
Yeah, but when you have a hotel, you can get a fancier, you know what I'm saying? You can get a more visually, if they have options, with the rooms where you can have the brunch, where it's you're the influencer. You're the influencer and you showed up with some tablecloths and some grandma centerpieces.
Yeah.
Girl. For the I don't know, fire and brimstone party. I need to go to one of these brunches, girl. I'm gonna go to some brunch because the brunch would be the pop off. Child, Christina, I guess while she was over in the storage unit, she found some floral fabric for her to go home and like bust out a little peplum pantsuit. Do I need a pantsuit if I go to brunch? I'm just saying.
I'm surprised they wore a pantsuit.
Well, they had this preacher lady there. She gave them the definition of shut up. Shut it up, close the blinds, close the windows, shut all these people out of your life that want. I was like, this is not uplifting. This is kind of bringing me down.
That was I felt like that was symbolic. I felt like that was her saying that to Kobe. And oh girl.
It didn't feel like an accident. That was
yeah. You know, she was being shady. She told that lady what to talk about. It was very shady.
Well, Kobe didn't catch it, but LaToya did. So much so, child. I told you, LaToya was like, I don't know. Praise is what that lady just said, but what she has said, and I don't usually like, LaToya doesn't like confrontation, but she's not gonna rest until she gets this out, this situation out with Christina. She doesn't like confrontation because she's terrible at it. She is horrible at expressing herself. Every time she gets a little flustered, she can't get her thought across the right way. And so Christina ate that ass up. She did that same thing to her.
And there was no need to say it because you said that you felt like she invited you there so she could confront you, and she never confronted you. So you should have just left her alone. You came with your guards up.
And Kobe set that bomb. Kobe set that fuse lit. I think what the issue is, I'm gonna go ahead and try to translate for Dr. LaToya because she doesn't do a good job at translating. I think what the issue is with her is Christina have shit going on and then invite you to a public place and expect you to like act a certain kind of way. That's why she said fake. She wants you to act a certain kind of way and don't bring things up when you know there's an issue. You know what I'm saying? So I think she feels like Christina can say whatever she wants to say behind people's back, but don't approach her on it. So you approached her, you approached me at my event. Don't approach me at my event because we're not going to do that here. Well, she wasn't saying nothing. Everything she was saying didn't make sense. Like you said, she might as well kept that to herself because Anthony did start the shit. Now they was going back and forth with the publicist, and then Christina kept saying the publicist called her. She kept making it a point to say that. So I went back and looked at that little part again, and she linked up with the publicist to talk about business, about representing her. And the publicist texted her about that Anthony shit. Because she was like,
obviously you had to reach out to her because why would she reach
out to her first though? Like you trying to make it seem like she just out the blue just reached out to you. Maybe you need to talk to your publicist. That's not how that went.
The lady was not feel like that you don't like me, you and your husband. Why would I reach out to you to do business?
Right. But rather than, we're going to meet up and we're going to say this. So she said Anthony told her that. Anthony said he told her that. So he said he did it. Brandon is the one lying and denying things. And why Russell came up in it, Christina, that's you. That's all you.
Christina did that. That ain't had it. Russell name wasn't in it at all. She just wanted to throw Kobe and Russell in it because she was mad at them at the moment.
I was like, she kept, and then when she met up with the publicist, she made it a point to say it again out loud in front of the camera so that when it came back, that we heard it that way. And I was like, I see what she did there. But she was like, so you reached out to me, to let me know. Right, she did. Because you reached out to her first, though. Because you was like, this Brittany person, she is the one. If you want a publicist, she is the shit in Detroit. So she's the one you want to have. You reached out to her to get your situation together. And she wanted to know, like you said, so what's up though? Because you and your husband don't like me or what So that's how that went. I don't think LaToya should be in charge of confronting people because she doesn't do it. She started talking about how she's a doctor and she studied people's body language and her body don't match what she be doing. Her actions don't match what she do. And Christina just was like, really? Is that what your little dog, your doctor's degree got you? Really?
She said your little doctor, boy, that's and see that's what I'm talking about. She did that. She treated Kobe like that.
And so what does that have to do with you, ma'am? I was like,
Yeah.
she's like the little girl, like the little girl that like pinches and bites babies. She's that. And then it's like, I don't know, mommy, why the baby's crying. That's her.
Yeah.
She's like a little evil. Brandon, are you okay over there? Do we need to like
she tries, she thinks she's on a higher level. She tries to belittle you. She really do. She was doing Kobe like that. Oh, Kobe's the baby, whatever Kobe wants. So now with her, because she knows she's a doctor, oh, your little degree, is that what it taught you? She tried really hard to look down on people.
But
like
that's
she's
because
on
that's
level.
because Latoya, first of all, Latoya, take that shit home. Besides talking to anybody, confront Anthony. Because as far as I'm concerned, as long as Anthony keeps acting like that, then you really don't have no room to say nothing to nobody. Check your husband, because once again, his name is right in the middle of it.
What are your family? And that's probably why they was feeling the way they was feeling about Anthony. Anthony always act like this. I bet you he been in a mess. I bet you he was going through that church causing
But
drama.
you know they be over there sizing him up on some other things.
Girl, but they should.
They probably be like, girl.
Yeah.
Anyway, and Latoya is not confrontational, which is like, it's interesting because you're a doctor. I feel like that takes a whole lot of, you need a certain, like, to be able to deliver bad news to people. And you know what I'm saying? She just doesn't have it in her.
After practice tonight.
He talking to me about some football play.
I know, because I got to get him tonight after practice.
Okay, go ahead. I'll read it.
Well, you don't have to read it because I just told you.
Okay.
Well, he don't have to go nowhere because that's pretty much where that ended. They ended on a note where Christina threw a horrible brunch. I mean, she gonna have to do. Oh, you know what was funny that I forgot to mention? Why did the Chelsea showing up wearing the same outfit? How did that happen?
Is that something? The other Chelsea was like, I'm not gonna sit here with you if you gonna be dogging my friend.
Right, because that's what they were doing.
Yeah. She was like, no, we good. This boy here.
So anyway, that's how that ended. D, tell the people what to do.
Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, and I'm on my way to practice.
All right, y'all. We got to go to practice. Bye.